Hello and welcome back to Hollywood, USA. Today, we are venturing into the spine-chilling world of one of the most iconic horror films in cinematic history. The Exorcist. Released in 1973 and directed by the masterful William Friedkin, The Exorcist is a film that needs no introduction. Its name alone sends shivers down the spines of those who have experienced its terrifying narrative. Prepare yourselves for a journey into the heart of darkness, as we unravel the mysteries behind the making of The Exorcist, explore the impact it had on audiences and the horror genre, and delve into the lingering legacy that still haunts our nightmares to this day. But before we cross the threshold into the world of demonic possession and supernatural terror, make sure to subscribe to Hollywood USA and hit that notification bell. Trust me, you won't want to miss the horrors we're about to uncover. The story revolves around the McNeil family, actress Chris McNeil and her daughter Regan. Their peaceful life takes a dark turn when strange occurrences plague Regan. Relocating to Washington, D.C., as Chris works on a film, they move into a charming house in Georgetown, and everything seems normal at first. Regan begins playing with a Ouija board and makes contact with a mysterious entity named Captain Howdy. Soon after, strange occurrences happen around the house. Regan's behavior becomes increasingly erratic and unsettling, causing concern for her mother. Chris consults doctors and psychiatrists to find a rational explanation for Regan's sudden and extreme changes in personality. Despite medical examinations and tests, Regan's condition worsens. She exhibits physical and vocal manifestations that defy scientific explanation. Chris, desperate and frightened, seeks answers from the medical community, but they cannot provide a satisfactory diagnosis. Father Damien Karras, Jason Miller, a Jesuit priest and psychologist, becomes involved. Karras is grappling with his own crisis of faith and guilt over the death of his mother. Chris turns to Karras for help, suspecting that Regan's condition may have a spiritual cause. The tension escalates as Karras begins to explore the possibility of an exorcism, eventually leading him to seek permission from the church. Meanwhile, strange and terrifying incidents continue to plague Regan and those around her. The Exorcist is a culmination of intense and terrifying events that lead to the ultimate confrontation between the forces of good and evil. Regan's possession becomes increasingly violent and disturbing, prompting her mother, Chris McNeil, to seek medical and then psychiatric help. However, when medical and psychological explanations fail to provide answers, Chris turns to the church for assistance. Father Marin, an experienced exorcist, is called to perform the ritual, with Father Karras providing assistance. As the priests engage in the battle against the demonic forces possessing Regan, the intensity of the scenes and the psychological toll on the characters create a gripping and horrifying climax. The climax of The Exorcist is set in Regan's bedroom, where the majority of the possession and exorcism take place. The room is adorned with religious symbols and lit with an eerie atmosphere, intensifying the suspense. Regan, now completely under the influence of the demon Pazuzu, exhibits supernatural strength and a deep knowledge of the priest's personal struggles and doubts. The confrontation between the priests and the possessed Regan becomes a battle not only of physical strength but also of faith and spiritual resolve. Father Marin, who has faced Pazuzu before, demonstrates a seasoned determination, while Father Karras grapples with his own internal struggles, questioning his faith and dealing with the recent death of his mother. The iconic scenes of levitation, contorted body movements, and disturbingly unnatural voice changes characterize the intense nature of the exorcism. The use of practical effects and makeup by Dick Smith contributes to the film's realistic and horrifying portrayal of possession. The suspenseful score by Jack Nish adds another layer of tension, enhancing the overall cinematic experience. Throughout the exorcism, the demon taunts the priests with personal and painful memories, testing their resolve and faith. Father Marin, weakened by age and experience, begins to succumb to the immense spiritual strain. Father Karras, on the other hand, struggles with guilt and doubt but finds renewed strength through self-sacrifice. In a crucial moment, Father Karras invites the demon to possess him instead of Regan. This act of self-sacrifice and compassion becomes the turning point in the battle. The demon, seeing an opportunity to manifest its evil in a different way, accepts the invitation and enters Father Karras. As the possessed Karras grapples with the demon within him, Father Merrin recognizes the opportunity to complete the exorcism. Despite his weakened state, Merrin presses on, reciting prayers and performing the ritual. The struggle between good and evil reaches its peak as Karras fights for control over his own body and soul. In a climactic moment, Karras regains temporary control and urges Merrin to finish the ritual. Merrin, recognizing Karras' sacrifice, completes the exorcism, forcing the demon to reveal its true name. The demon, defeated and enraged, lashes out one last time before being expelled from Regan's body. The aftermath of the exorcism leaves Father Merrin dead and Father Karras critically injured. The emotional toll on Chris MacNeil is evident as she rushes to her daughter's side. Regan, now freed from the demonic possession, is left physically and emotionally scarred. The film concludes with Father Dyer, a friend of Father Karras, providing comfort to Chris and Regan. The final scenes suggest a glimmer of hope as life begins to return to normal for the surviving characters. However, the impact of the traumatic events lingers, leaving a haunting sense of the supernatural in their lives. The Exorcist is celebrated not only for its terrifying and groundbreaking portrayal of demonic possession but also for its exploration of faith, doubt, and the battle between good and evil. The ending, with its mix of horror, tragedy, and redemption, solidifies the film's status as a classic in the horror genre. The performances of the cast, the skillful direction by Friedkin, and the memorable music and effects contribute to the enduring legacy of The Exorcist as a landmark in horror cinema.